Welcome. Hi. In this session, I am going to cover questions from atomic structure covered in January 2020 JEE Mains. This time, as you know, JEE Mains conducted 3 days. Each day has 2 sessions, so overall 6 sessions. In 6 sessions, in 4 sessions, atomic structure questions are covered. The first question on 7th morning, second question 8th morning, and third question 8th evening, and the last question on 9th morning. So in this session, I am going to give you detailed explanation about each and every question. So for each and every question, I am going to cover suitable concept and suitable formula and the solution. Let's start this session with the first question in atomic structure, that is the number of orbitals associated with the quantum numbers n is equal to 5, ms is equal to plus half. So to solve any problem, the words and data given should be important. First we have to understand the data given in the question. It is very simple question, and finally I will tell you one trick to solve this problem also. But first I would like to explain concept related to this question. See, the concept related to this question is about number of orbitals. See, if n is equal to 5, then L values are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is the maximum L value. As you know, the maximum L value is calculated from this n minus 1. Here n value is 5, therefore maximum L value is 5 minus 1, that is 4. And each L value represents one specific subshell. If L value is 0, it represents S subshell or orbital. It is called subshell or orbital because it has only one orbital. If you take this one, we need to call it as P subshell, not orbital, because L equal to 1 represent a P subshell. This subshell has 3 orbitals, but in this case you can use word subshell or orbital. Now if you take L is equal to 2, it represents D subshell. L is equal to 3 represents F subshell. L is equal to 4 represents D subshell. Now this is about L value. Now if you take M values, these are magnetic quantum numbers. This is a principal quantum number. This is azimuthal quantum number. This is magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number for given azimuthal quantum number ranges from minus L through 0 to plus L. See, suppose if L value is 0, then we have only one M value. Suppose if L value is 1, then M values are minus 1, 0, plus 1. If L value is 4, then M values are ranging from minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 and plus 4. So like that we have to write it. Next, if you take ms value, or we can also represent like this S, which represents spin quantum number. Now in the spin quantum number, if you take any orbital, now I am going to represent one orbital. So this is orbital. In this orbital we can fill maximum only 2 electrons. So this is according to Pauli's exclusion principle. For this electron, ms value is plus half. Here ms value is minus half. So in the given question, they covered these two. One is n is equal to 5. Another one is ms value is equal to plus half. That means each orbital has plus half spin quantum number. So here our question is simple. We need to calculate the total number of orbitals. That's it. So how do we calculate total number of orbital? I will give you detailed explanation for this question. Here total number of orbitals. Total number of orbitals. Suppose n is equal to 5. Then L values are 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Now if L value is 0, M value is 0. If L value is 1, M values are -1, 0 and +1. So here 3 M values are possible. Here only one M value is possible. Each M value represents one orbital. So from this you can say number of orbitals from total number of M values. Now if L is equal to 2, then M values are -2, -1, 0, +1 and +2. Total M values are 5. Now if you take L is equal to 3, M values are -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3. Total M values are 7. Then L value is equal to 4. -1 M values are -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, +1, +2, +3 and +4. Total M values are 9. So if we count all these, we get total number of orbitals. So here total number of orbitals 1 plus, here 3 plus, here 5 plus, 7 plus 9, which is equal to 25. Otherwise we can count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So here 25 orbitals are present. Now I am going to tell you trick here. The trick is you can find out this within fraction of seconds. So trick for total number of orbitals. Total number of orbitals n square. Here n value is 5. 5 square, that is equal to 25. So without doing like this, you can also solve by using this trick. Next we move to another question. This is the second question which is asked on 8th morning. The question is, for the Balmer series, in the spectrum of hydrogen atom, wave number is equal to RH into 1 by N1 square minus 1 by N2 square. The correct statements among 1 to 4. So they given 1 to 4 and they given here options also. The first option is 2, 3, 4, second 1, 3, 4, third 1, 2, 3 and fourth option 1, 2 and 4. So the suitable concept for this is, see, this is a hydrogen atom. I am going to take a hydrogen atom. For this hydrogen atom, this n value, this is the first orbit, n value is 1, second orbit n value is 2, third orbit n value is 3, fourth orbit n value is equal to 4, fifth orbit n value is 5, sixth orbit n value is equal to 6. You know, hydrogen atom is a uni-electron system, means it has only one electron. Generally, electron is present in the ground state, but when energy is supplied to hydrogen atom, then electron is promoted to higher energy level. But at a higher energy level, electron is unstable. Then it should come to ground state. It may come ground state directly from 6 to 1 or 6 to 5 to 1 or 6 to 5, 5 to 4, 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1. There are so many possibilities. So each transition, see, when finally electron is coming to the ground state, but each transition gives one line in the hydrogen spectrum. Now if you take a hydrogen spectrum, in this hydrogen spectrum, so many lines we can observe. These lines are due to the de-excitation of electron from one orbit to another orbit. See, in this spectrum mainly divided into 5 parts. based on N1 value. So if N1 value is 1, then the series is called a Lyman series. If N1 is equal to 2, the series is Balmer. See, we required only Balmer series, so we can stop here. Now, if you take energy of any photon emitted during de-excitation of electron is equal to hc by lambda. So your energy is inversely proportional to lambda, and this energy is directly proportional to distance between orbits. So this is required concept to solve this problem. Now we see one by one. As wavelength decreases, the lines in the series converge. See, wavelength means here wavelength of the photon emitted during de-excitation of the electron. So here when wavelength decreases, so energy increases. Lines in the series converge. Converge means it is a state of covering. So one line merges with the another line. Yes, this is correct answer. Second one is the integer N1 value is 2. For which series? Already in the given question, Balmer series. For the Balmer series, N1 value is 2. Yes, it is correct. Third one, the line of the longest wavelength. Energy is inversely proportional to lambda. So if energy is less, then wavelength is more. For maximum wavelength, we need minimum energy. See here, anyway electron should come to ground state finally. Just imagine, if electron comes from here, 6 to 1, the gap is more between the orbits. When the gap is more between the orbits, more energy is released. Here, N5 to 1, gap decreases. N4 to 1, gap little bit decrease. N3 to 1, N2 to 1. Where the gap is very less. The gap is very less between N2 to N1. So that's why the line of longest wavelength corresponds to N2 is equal to 3. See here, N1 is for Balmer series 2, and if N2 is 3, then we get a maximum lambda. The lambda of photon emitted during de-excitation is maximum. The next step, the ionization energy of hydrogen can be calculated from wave number of these lines. Is it correct or wrong? Generally what we think, see here, energy is equal to hc by lambda. This is equal to hc by nu bar. So if you know nu bar, we can calculate energy. Yes, this is correct relation. But remember one important point. Here electron may present in the 6th state or 5th state or 4th state or 3rd one. But electron if present in ground state, then only we can calculate ionization energy. But with this line, do we get that? No. So that's why the ionization energy of hydrogen can be calculated from wave number of these lines is wrong statement. I'll tell you once again. This relation is correct. But what we are saying, longest, see, the ionization of energy of hydrogen can be calculated from wave number of these lines. No. We cannot calculate like that. We can calculate only from the n is equal to 1. Because you know formula, ionization energy is equal to energy at infinite distance minus ground state energy. You can look at the formula. This is correct formula for ionization energy. You know, ionization energy at electron energy at infinite dilution is assumed as 0 minus energy of ground state, let it be minus E1, this is equal to E1. So we can calculate ionization energy when electron is present in n is equal to 1. So the correct answer is 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is correct. So the correct option is C. This is atomic structure question asked on 8th January in the morning session. The next question is the radius of the second Bohr orbit in terms of the Bohr's radius A0 in Li2 plus. The suitable formula for this question is R is equal to 0.529 into n square by z angstroms. See here, Bohr's radius A0. Here Bohr's radius is represented as A0. Its value is 0.529 angstroms. If you write this radius formula in terms of Bohr's radius, that is A0 into n square by z. This is suitable formula to solve this problem. Then we try to solve this. Before going to solve any problem, first we have to write the given data. The given data in the question, second Bohr orbit, that means n value is to lithium Li2 plus. So Z value is what? You know, hydrogen 1, helium 2 and lithium is 3. What is 1, 2, 3? Atomic number. So atomic number of lithium is 3. So now you have Z value and n value. Then you will get answer directly. R is equal to A0 into 2 square by 3. So R is equal to A0 into 4 by 3. The correct answer is A. This question covered on 8th January evening. Then we move to next question. The next question is the de Broglie wavelength of an electron in the fourth Bohr orbit is option A 6 pi A0, 4 pi A0, 2 pi A0, 8 pi A0. Here the concept related to this question is, you know, wave may be in phase or out of phase. Let us take this is orbit. If electron is moving around the nucleus as a wave, so this wave can meet with the starting point. So then this is called in phase. Suppose if wave ends are not meets with each other, then this is called out of phase. So de Broglie proposed that the wave is in phase when 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. This is suitable formula. Now in this suitable formula, we need to substitute r value. As you know, Bohr orbit. See here, fourth Bohr orbit. Bohr orbit radius is expressed generally in terms of A0. A0 value, you know, 0.529 angstroms. Radius formula 0.529 into n square by z angstroms. So 0.529 angstrom is equal to A0. So this is equal to A0 into n square by z. This is radius. Now your circumference 2 pi r. This is circumference 2 pi r is equal to number of waves made by an electron. See here, 2 pi r. 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. Now r value here A0 into n square by z. This is 2 into pi is equal to n lambda. So here n and square cancel, we get 2 pi into A0 into n by z is equal to lambda. Now in this question, what is given data? The given data is fourth Bohr orbit. So n value is 4. So we have to calculate for hydrogen. So H means Z value is equal to 1. So we can substitute all these values here. 2 pi A naught, n value is 4 by 1, that is equal to lambda. 2 into 4h, therefore lambda is equal to 8 pi A naught. The correct option is D. Correct option is D.